Welcome to the Lead with Your Soul podcast. I'm Michelle Wright, your host and fellow traveler on this journey of self-discovery. This podcast is designed for women navigating life transitions and yearning to embrace their true selves. I'll be sharing my personal journey from navigating the complexities of divorce and blending families to reshaping my career to something that resonates with my soul. With 3 decades as a teacher and mentor, I'm here to share insights, heartfelt stories, and practical strategies. Together, we'll explore how to cultivate self-love and create the vibrant, fulfilling life you deserve. Join me each week as we dive deep into the art of living authentically. Welcome to the Lead with Your Soul podcast. I'm Michelle Wright, your host, and I'm so glad you're here. Blessings, you beautiful souls. Today, I want to talk a little bit about transformation and what I'm understanding more deeply in my work that I'm doing with different women in different transitions in their lives. The big ones that happen through career shifts, relationship shifts, divorce, and the ones that happen seasonally or monthly that just go with the flow, the new moon, the full moon, moving from fall into winter, into summer, into spring. And those transitions that happen for us and how we can harness them. And what I am beginning to understand in my work and move more deeply in my Sacred Soul sessions and in my one-to-one soul mentorships and how to move women through the different transitions that are happening in their life. And I think, first of all, for me, it was understanding kind of the process that's happening. What is really happening for women? And in this one, I'm talking about those big transitions when something's happening. And I recognize that I meet women at different stages of this process. So in the first one, it's really about being cracked wide open. It's that tower moment. It's the chaotic feelings. It's that free fall, it almost feels like. And it's recognizing that this is happening not to us, but for us. And that's a real shift. And that's what I help women to do is through a Sacred Soul session, through my one-to-one mentorship sessions, what I'm doing is helping them see and recognize how this transition is offering ways to expand, offering them ways to move forward, and offering them ways to explore a new part of themselves. It is like a portal of transformation. And seeing that as a portal, seeing that as an ability and an opening, a doorway to their own personal transformation. The second thing is that as they see that, then they start to awaken. And it's almost like, I do call it like an awakening, because they start to see how they were bound and almost silenced in their voice, in their thinking. And for me, that looked around different Christian paradigms I was working with, the patriarchal paradigms we're working within, and recognizing that as a woman, I was taught and really positively reinforced to give and serve others and not to stand up, not to be assertive, not to look at my own joy, my own interests, my own curiosities. It was really looking at, but how could I know everyone else? So what did I awaken to? I awakened to going on my first speed dating, actually. And someone said, well, what do you like doing? And I'm like, what music do you listen to? What's your favorite food? And all I could think at that time, because I had small children, 2.5, is, well, we listened to Barney's and we listened to all these children's songs and we ate cheese pizza none of these things were the things that I loved and that I really enjoyed. It was really the people I was with, the children that I loved so dearly, and I loved my motherhood that I was serving. That's who I was. And it offered a portal, a doorway to start looking at myself as just me, Michelle, not as a wife, not as a mother, not as a daughter, just me, Michelle. What did I really love eating? What did I love doing? What lit me up? And that's that portal. And in there was also then the silencing. And the silencing for me was fear. So it was really looking at nervous system work. I was terrified that nothing was ever going to change and that this was as good as it was ever going to get. Because that's when you're in that tower moment, that free fall, you really are in this moment of not knowing, not understanding why you're here and how do you even get out of it. Even if you now understand it's a portal, your nervous system is still freaking out and sending you alarm systems. I was stuck in fear, stuck in anxiety loops, stuck in numbing myself. And so for me, that's how I dealt with fear and anxiety is I numbed myself. I ate and I ate and I ate. At that time, other vices, I just was there and I just didn't spend a lot of time in contemplation, in reflection, because I was busy. I was working full time in a career that I did love and I felt called to. And I loved my children, and I any free time I just actually filled with numbing behaviors. So there was no time to explore. So when I allowed myself to listen to the silence, to recognize the boxes that I was keeping myself in. Another box is the idea of the divine feminine in me and the divine masculine. So the masculine aspects of me were always encouraged. I worked hard and I worked long, and you'd rest when you were dead in the grave. These are the things my parents would say to me, right? Like, you want things in life, you have to work hard, you have to do it, you have to just keep on going, and don't worry how tired you are. And the divine feminine is being free to contemplate and easily receive gifts from the universe, gifts from those around you, asking for help and receiving it, and being a single parent and moving into this place opened that portal. I had to ask for help. I had to receive it. And by continuing down this road, I did it not only in my 3D world and in my physical world, I started to explore spiritually when I would pull cards, when I would allow my mom to help me through a Reiki healing, through hypnosis, through her crystal grids, when I would use her angel cards and I would listen. And then I started changing and listening and receiving messages and receiving help. And this is where it started to shift for me, because then I went into that third phase, which is I started to remember who I was. And I did this through the cards, remembering that I was a person who had deep joy and that I loved to laugh and that I loved to have fun and that I loved to explore and that I was a very physical person. So I loved hiking. I loved doing hard things and moving my body. I had this really strong body that loves to move. And so I started doing that and enjoying it. Now, a thread throughout that is, but I had a lot of body shaming because I wasn't skinny and I wasn't this perfect from the social media aspect. And so it started this love of my body, remembering that my body was here not to be a perfect, whatever that version of social media was saying that time or society, because you look throughout, it's changed. We've gone through the skinny to the not skinny. You see this in paintings, you see it in magazine covers. But who was I meant to be? I'm meant to be this strong woman. And healthy. And so I started shifting. Even now, you've heard me talk about my health journey. It's remembering that I'm here to be healthy. And what does that look like for Michelle in this body at this time? And the struggles that come with that, and being present for my shadow. And I think that was another part of remembering me. It was recognizing the triggers and seeing those triggers as helping me, because it helped me to see where my shadows were. It helped me to see what I needed to heal and to really truly love that part of myself and not hide from it, not numb it, and to be present. So that looked like last night. There's an aspect of my health that's kind of shifting. And even though we're in this beautiful Mexican place, there's some issues that are happening. And I was crying about it last night. And I didn't admonish myself for crying. I didn't say, buck up. Like, that's what I used to do. Buck up. Don't worry. You push through, push through. No. The divine feminine in me. I remembered me. You know what? I am a strong person, but I'm also a person who gets scared when my health shifts. And I'm a person who can cry. So you know what I did? I put on music that made me feel all my feels. And I just love Paint by Number on my iPad. And it allows me to get into this Zen contemplative moment as I just touch colors and I allow myself to just be present with myself. And that meant I was crying. And my husband came in worried for me. But I didn't say, I'm sorry, which I have done in the past. Instead, I just said, I'm just crying. I'm allowing myself to cry. These sacred tears, these emotions, I'm allowing it to leave me. I'm remembering that I'm all these versions of myself, and I love all of them. Remembering you also can be, I know when I'm working with my clients in my soul blueprint sessions, it's looking at them through their natal astrology chart, through their human design, their energy type, their profile, their authority. Recognize them through their sun, their moon, their north node, their Chiron. And they remember who they are. They're like, yes, there is essence of me. There's truth of me in here. And women in transition, we need to remember who we are, these highest versions of what we could be, and resonating at the best that we are. And we're in the lowest versions. And it's remembering to love myself deeply, compassionately at each point. Where, one of the boxes when I talked about remembering what binds you, it's only to celebrate, only share the good. Don't share the messiness. Don't share the difficulty. And you can see in this podcast, I've been working through that and sharing the difficulty. And I help women recognize. And it's in these sacred moments. And I call them sacred because there's deep emotions that come through, as we say. And I can even cry when I say it myself. I love you. And as we really say that to ourselves and we recognize that what we're missing is that we love ourselves as much as we love those that we serve. And it's remembering you, falling in love with you radically, authentically. The you that's just you. I am a Taurus sun, and as much as I love adventuring and going places, I love things to go slowly and consistently. I love having control and the life wonderfully. Make sure that there's lots of different things that come in that shake that control to help me recognize and love all the pieces of me when things aren't in control and when things are in control. And to recognize these small seasons of transition and these big seasons of transition. And that's what remembering you is about. And then I work with women especially in the Reclaiming You, helping them remember themselves through the different modalities. And those are what the sessions are. And even when I work in mentorship, that's what it's about, because it's helping you see through these different modalities and helping you see yourself through those. And then it's really helping you recognize from there, once you're remembering you and you're connected to your own divinity, you love yourself, you're connected to your own intuition, your own soul, your own heart space. And from here, you start to listen to your soul and you start to lead your life and plan a life by listening to your soul. What lights you up? What brings you joy? What do you need to heal and release? And then it opens up another portal for you. And seeing this as happening through big life transitions, and that's where I'm here to catch women. I'm here to catch women in their free fall. I'm here to sit with you on the bathroom floor, hold you while you're crying, and just recognizing, yeah, life is pretty fucking shitty sometimes. And as you weep, I'll hold you. As you cry, as you release, as you see the difficulty, the honesty that allows you to come back to your truth, that things aren't great, and that there are areas of your life that you can expand, explore, to heal, to release, to bring in hope, to rise into, to move into, and that it doesn't happen always in one quantum leap. Sometimes it does, and sometimes it's in incremental steps. Both are equally happen in the dissolving, and both equally can happen in the creating. And so it's sitting with women in each of these different 5 areas. And I sit with them, helping them listen to their own soul, helping them recognize who they are and remember who they are authentically at their highest potential, and dreaming towards that and loving this radical self-love that allows us to just create this exquisite, deep, loving connection with ourselves and the way we can live. And that starts in glimpses. It starts with hope. It starts with a map. And then it starts to get bigger and bigger, and we're doing it in more and more parts of our life. And we're beginning to see our lives as moments of transition and evolution and an expansion, and each one moving through into the next, serving the next. And that it's such a beautiful human experience to do this and to be through it. My work, working with women in transition, is to catch them and hold them and to guide them through remembering, loving, and then creating a map for themselves as they listen to their own soul. It's deep sacred work. It's the work that I love doing and that I can feel myself being called into doing. And so you'll see me. You'll see me weekly on my Instagram with coffee and cards, sharing my insights, sharing my readings for the collective, and I invite you, put down your initials, get a reading. You'll see me on YouTube Live, sharing, once again, readings for the collective, and doing readings for those that come into the chats, or they want me to do a reading for them in a different context. They want me just to give me the words or just their initials and say, do a general reading for me. That's who I'm here to serve. This evolution of my own life is now expanding into a service to those women in transitions of their life. And if you see yourself at any of those 5 points, you can come in for a sacred soul session where I do a reading. Maybe you're interested in more understanding yourself through astrology, through human design, and how you interact in this world. And that's a soul blueprint session. Maybe you're looking at energy and you want to heal and you want to have an energy healing. And you're looking more at that. There's no right way. There's no one way. Maybe you want deeper transformation and you want to work with me over a period of time. And you go from one into the other. And that's my work. That's my calling. And it is my delight to serve, my joy to serve women in these places and to hold these sacred conversations and see you in your pain, in your suffering, in your remembering, in your joy, in your happiness, in your becoming. Until next time, keep leading with your soul. That wraps up another episode of the Lead with Your Soul podcast. I'm so grateful you chose to spend this time with me. As you navigate your own life transitions, remember to be gentle with yourself and embrace the journey. If you found value in today's episode, please subscribe and share it with others who might benefit. Join me next week for more insights and inspiration. Until next time, keep leading with your soul.